Welcome back to the adventures of Mac and Anthea and part 2 of e-bike mountain range test. If you haven't seen part 1, I shall try and put a card above for you to click on in case you want to watch that one first. So you join us as we walk along the mountain ridge from the aerials to the Cruz de Talavera. Okay, so here we are right at the top. Hopefully you can see the village down below in the background. And we're finally here at the Cruz of Talavera. Amazing views, hopefully you can see them in the background there. Yeah, really spectacular place. Again, better when we've had a few cold days and we can see clearer, but nevertheless, really nice. Came back up here a while back with our son Liam. I'll stick some photos, I think it was some photos of us. We come up on the motorbikes, a little bit easier than the bicycles. Shout out to Liam, I'm sure he's watching this. He's working in Wales at the minute. So shout out to Liam, bye. So I'll spin you around and I'll explain this cross to you. So there we have it, the Cruz de Talavera. Traditionally this was a wooden cross, replaced over and over again over the years, and eventually it's been replaced with a metal one. Now the idea of this cross is it's meant to look down, just down over here, over the village, and ensure that we get clement weather and good crops. Well, I've got news for you, Cruz de Talavera, you don't bloody work. Maybe they should have left it wooden, maybe it needs a new battery, maybe we should cut the bloody thing down and we might get some rain, I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't work. We haven't had any good harvests for a while, mainly down to a lack of rain. So anyway, I think we were going to go down to the picnic area, but I think we're going to get our chairs out, have a little bit of something to eat here, and then make a decision on what we're going to do next. Okay, so we've had a bit of food, finished that, packed everything away, did a bit of drone footage. Obviously I had to be careful to keep it away from the aerials because of interference, and obviously don't want to do any damage either. So we're gonna get on our way now. We've decided we are going to go and do the loop, so stay tuned. It's good. It goes down the other side of the mountain, go through a network of ramblers, and then we end up climbing a little climb back up before we finally come back to the farmhouse, but from the opposite direction. So it's well worth a look. So we'll get moving on, and I'll bring you back in as and when. Anthea's on 4 bars in her battery. I'm down to 2 now. Obviously her battery's the same as mine, but it's brand new, and my bike's got a lot more weight. But I'm thinking I can roll down with everything switched off for a little while as we go downhill, and I have found these batteries do recuperate a bit if you leave them switched off. So I'll leave the battery off until I really need it, and then hopefully I'll have enough just to get me up that last little climb before we do the final descent. Okay, so we're on our way down. We're tiptoeing down because it's rough, it's uneven, it's steep. So we're just going to take our time. So Anthea's still getting used to her bike. The bike seems to be holding up well and coping with it all perfectly. After all, that's what I built them for, so it wouldn't be much good if they didn't. Okay, so let's just have a break from the video for a minute. Don't worry, I'm not going to try and sell you some VPN service or one of those green drinks that looks like pond water that they often tout out so much on YouTube. What we're going to talk about is e-bike conversions and what we've done and what we've been through to get to this point now. First off, I'd just like to point out there was nothing wrong with the previous e-bike when it was used for what it was designed to be used for. We started off with a 250 watt hub drive commuter bike, which was kind of a Dutch design with a low step through to make it easier for Anthea, who's new to cycling again, to get on and off it basically, and if she had to jump off in a hurry, could easily get down off the bike. We found this was okay for flat surfaces and sort of gradients up to about 6%, but after that the bike started to stall. As time went on and we became more and more used to bicycles again, and we became more and more ambitious on the sort of trails we were tackling, obviously upgrades needed to be done. So the next stage we went through was to modify the bike to a 500 watt hub drive in an attempt to get better performance going through the steeper trails. This incarnation of the bike was pretty good on gravel trails and gradients up to about 12%, after which it started to stall. At this point I had to come to a decision as to whether I was going to modify this bike for a third time or sell this bike and start again from scratch. In the end I went for the latter. The reason for this was I was going to have to convert it to a mid-drive. This would have involved removing the 500 watt hub drive motor and replacing it with a new back wheel.
I would have also had to have fitted at least a 9-speed cassette plus hand controls, and after that it still would have been a heavy steel bike with the battery, or the weight of the battery, over the rear wheel, which made it slide around a little bit in loose gravel. That brings us along to the final bike, and the bike you're seeing in this video today, which is a Rock Rider bike from Decathlon. It's had modifications done to it for long distance touring or long distance riding. It's had the Barfang 750 watt motor fitted with the 800S black and white display. So after our e-bike journey, these are the conclusions we've come to. 250 watt hub drive motors are perfectly alright for flat riding and up to 6% gradients. A 500 watt motor will increase your gradient capabilities up to about 12%. Both of these options are a good option if you're on a low budget or if you're not planning on going up steep mountains on a regular basis. However, for serious riding and serious conditions, you can't go far wrong by buying the mid-drive motor. A mid-drive motor has the benefit of the gears, which eases its pain, whereas the hub motor only really has one gear driving off the rear wheel. Now, how well 250 watt or 500 watt mid-drive motors perform, I've no idea. We haven't tested this, so that would be something for you to try. But at this stage I decided I didn't want to mess about anymore or take any more chances, so we just went straight for the 750 watt motor. And to be honest, you can load your bike fully up with almost anything you want and almost drive it straight up a cliff and still not have a problem. So I hope this section of the video has been of some interest to you guys out there who are thinking of doing an e-bike conversion and are trying to decide which way to go. For the rest of you who just wanted to see a bicycle riding scenery, I hope this section of the video hasn't been too boring for you. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, we just stopped for a second there. Our strip down to t-shirts was short-lived. It's lovely and sunny up here, but with the altitude, the air is really cool. So once you start moving on the bike again, the cool air hitting your skin, it's just a little bit too chilly. So yeah, we sort of given up on that idea, and it's sweatshirts back on. Okay, so we're still going down the trail down from the aerials, and I'll bring you back in when we get back down to the fork again. So we're back down to the fork. That didn't take long. A lot quicker on the way down than on the way up. So we're going to continue on along this road here, and our next stop is going to be the Refugee Forestal, which is the old forest refuge. And behind that, there's actually a natural spring. Believe that this high up in the mountains, there's a natural spring. So I'm going to go down and have a look at that as well and see if that's actually still flowing. Here comes Anthea. She's just taking it a bit steady. Okay, and here we are. Refugee Forestal. This was a ruin when I first come out here, but the previous man did this up, and they used to come up here and have paellas and little do's up here in the mountains. It's really quite nice. A little bit of shade here, and I'll go and have a hunt for this spring. Are you coming? I'm just going to wait with the bikes. Okay. So if I remember rightly, you walk down the back of here. Of course, all this fancy stuff is new. You walk down the back here, and somewhere down here around the corner there's a spring. I don't remember how far it is, and I think there's probably actually another little track which is sort of four-wheel drive worthy if you go a bit further along and then turn back on yourself. Anyway, it's quite a nice little walk down here. It's nice to revisit some of these places because I used to come up here a lot when we first lived here. And, like I said, when it got busy up here, it put me off. But again, you know, the novelty's worn off, and people are still coming up again now. We've got it to ourselves. Yeah, there we go. You can just about see the road there. That's what I thought. Yep, and the spring's still flowing. That's a surprise. I seem to remember it came out of here originally. I don't know, maybe they've washed it up a bit as well. Now here's where it comes out. Yeah, I don't know if you want to drink that, you certainly need to filter it, but that seems to be the source down into there. Ricked up, and then I've got a pipe under the ground. Yeah, there you go. I'll step down onto that. I don't think it's mud. Yeah, so that's just the spring water coming out of that pipe. It's a bare trickle, but I bet if you're into your wildlife photography, this would be a great place to set up. I can see prints of various animals here on the ground, and they've come down to actually take a drink. Yeah. Okay, I'll take the trudge back up again. It's not a bad trip down here, and we'll get on with the bike ride. Okay, so we just left the refugee forest now. Just had someone turn up on the motorbikes. That's the second person we've seen today on this trail, so not bad going. Coming up here on the left, you can see the sign here. This is the trail that takes you down through the deep gully, back actually to the village, the 4 kilometre trail. Of course, they've got signs now. They've all gone sign mad here. We obviously got some EU grant or something. Yeah, they've gone balmy with the signs. So I've just had to put power assist back on there now. Yeah, just wait at the top there for a minute for Anthea. Obviously, she's had to quickly put power assist back on as well. It's a problem when you go around these routes on motorcycles. You don't really notice those inclines like that, but you soon notice them on the bicycle without the power assist. Second like a loony, or maybe the same one, I don't know, don't remember. There's 3 people on the trail. So just put the power assist on a bit. It's only a slight incline, but you can certainly feel it now. You notice here you've got all the trees here are almond trees. Too high, too cold for olives. They don't like it up here, so yeah, all almond trees which are pretty hardy. This will be a beautiful sight in about a month's time when all the flowers come out. They're all pink and white flowers on these. Absolutely beautiful sight. Nice building coming up ahead there, which is gradually getting more and more renovated. Every time I pass it, they've been out there about 10 years, but can't really say anything. We've been living in the build site for 15. Okay, so we're coming down to the edge of a little village. Always had a bit of confusion actually what this village is called. I mean, if I refer to it as Campia de Pichena, to the Spanish village, I don't know exactly what I mean, but they always call it something different, something like Rioja or Riajo, or I don't know, Riojo. Not really sure. Yeah, I seem to remember there being a pack of dogs here last time I went down here. Yeah, Plague of Spain. Yeah, so there's a bit of confusion about what it's called. Now, this truly is right out in the middle of nowhere. There's no real major roads going anywhere near this. It's a trek to get into it. I've got a feeling the actual Borsel's down the road, so it's certainly where they've done their naughty kids. I've come over here quite a lot in the past with my friend. We used to come on the motorbikes early September and pick mushrooms. The mushrooms out here are called, I'll get this right, setters. No, I'll put it in a bit because I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, when you get sort of rain in September, get down here quick onto this rambler, down to these trees that are a bit further on, and pick mushrooms. But okay, I've got to try and remember the way through here. I've got a feeling we take this next left in a minute and take a road through. It'll take us out the other side and then we'll be back onto ramblers again to take us back towards home. This will be the furthest point we go away from home really, and we'll turn back to make our way back. There goes Speedy with a full battery. There's a bar up here, up to the left here. When I first started coming around down here all these years ago, it was sort of a really old bar, blast from the past. Doubled up as a shop, sold shoes, food, a few clothes, and then you went out the back there, there's sort of those toilets with a hole in the ground, sort of affairs there. Last time I come here about 3 years ago when I was with our son. Left! my son, I walked into it, and I had to turn back around and walk out again to make sure I was in the same place. They had widescreen TV, all restaurant tables and everything in there. So it just goes to show how things change over time. Bit of a shame, but I suppose you can't expect everybody to live in the dark ages forever. So we decided to get off and walk for a bit. I hope I've got the right route. I think I have. We used to continue along the Rambler and then take a turn off there. But it's a long way round, and I'm pretty sure this is a cut through. We'll see. I'm down to 1 bar on the battery, and we've got quite a way to go yet. So I hope we've not got too many more slopes. Right, we went wrong for a while. Took a wrong turn. We had a walk for a while. Went up a hill, didn't look right. Quick look at Google Maps, which can be bloody hard to follow sometimes when it always points north and you're twiddling maps around about. So I didn't really trust it. So we backstepped, found a bit I thought I recognised, and I'm pretty sure we're on the right route now. So carry on for a bit. This is mainly little ramblers like this, but there are a few ups and downs that obviously I don't normally notice on the motorbike, which I am going to notice today. Okay, so we had a little break in footage there. Took a wrong route and had to go backtrack ourselves and get ourselves back in the right route. We're on the right route now. We're conserving batteries as much as I can. Anthea's not so bad, but I've gone down to 1 bar. There was quite a lot of pushing up some hills, and in the end I thought, well, I'll just have to get as far as I can on the battery and then we'll take it from there. But we're on the downhill stretch again now, and I know we've got a really steep climb to get up out of this Rambler in a bit that we're going into, but until then we're going downhill. We've got all the batteries switched off, so we'll worry about when we get there. But we are about 10 kilometres away from any civilization, so it'd be nice to get a bit nearer. We're thinking if things do croak and we ain't got the engine to get back, I'll take Anthea's bike, that's still got a bit of battery left in it, and go back and fetch the van. But we'll see how we go on. This is downhill, this Rambo, I remember, all the way down here, and when we get a bit further down here we take a right turn up onto some concrete road which is quite steep, but then it starts to level out over the top and then it's all downhill from then. So we'll just have to see how we get on, and if we have to get off and push every now and again, and then that's what we'll have to do. So we've just turned off the Rambler. I'll put behind on pedal assist 2. We've only got 1 bar left. Battery, so we'll just see how far we get up this concrete incline. And then we'll just have to walk the rest until we get up and we can freewheel down. Okay, so we got up that. Still on 1 bar, we're going downhill a bit, well, for a little bit at least anyway. And I'll switch the battery off again, try and conserve a bit. I've got a bit of a climb here, but there's not much more than this if I remember rightly. It has been quite a while since I've been around here. So another level bit along the top, battery's off. Hopefully we're through the worst of it from what I remember. Beautiful scenery. Up here I'll try and show you up there. To the right is what that mountain that we rather vulgarly refer to as the Tit. The top quite a lot higher than where we are now. Here we go, nice slope down. Really worrying when your battery starts to run out and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're exhausted basically. You understand how people feel in electric cars. Yeah, it is quite worrying. Okay, we've stopped again. Time for jumpers back on. It's all turning a bit chilly now, we're going downhill again. Just thought I'd stop and show you over here, give you some idea of what we've done. Up there in the distance is the aerials that we stopped at. So it's a good old distance. So I'm thinking we're almost downhill all the way down here. We're going to pass some mines. I may stop there for a bit, but it's time's getting on. There's some old tank mines down this trail a little way, so I may stop and show you that, but we'll see how we go on because I'm really starting to ache and I'm really tired. And I think Anthea's as well. She's got a sore bum and a rubbing toe, so yeah, we really could do with getting home. Yeah, sunsetting as well. So, and I'll give you one guess what we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Staying in bed watching YouTube videos rather than making them. Yeah, just had a little climb up here. You can see someone's made a little hide for shooting here. But you can really see how in the middle of nowhere we are. I'll just gently pan around here. Hopefully you'll be able to see it because now I'm filming into the sun. You see everywhere, you can see we've got pine trees everywhere around. Probably there. And then back again on there, you can see the tit. You can also see here where the Forestry Commission have been doing a good job. They've been trimming all the trees up. If you see, they've been trimming the trunks up to head height and trimming all the undergrowth around here in an attempt at fire prevention. Okay, I'm gonna have a wander back down and we'll get on our way. Okay, so we're coming up to a viewpoint. We're not going to walk up to it, it's just sort of up there and there. There's various routes you can get, 2 routes you could take. We've taken the winding way down, they all come back to the same place. Nice tarmac road now. Concrete's okay, but it's a lot bumpy. I'd rather have the gravel. There we go, we've got the sign here on the left here, which is the Minas. Yeah, if you just see below there, if we took the other route, we would have come out there, so. Coming up to a bit of old quarrying, again in a minute. Whoa! Nearly a collision at the end there, breakdown in communications. Yeah, this is the old quarry, this bit round here in a minute. I suppose really if you wanted to, you'd quite a nice spot to actually have a motorhome camp. It is accessible from below, even though quite steep, but it's not. It's good access. Just waiting for Anthea. She seemed to have disappeared. Let's hope she hasn't gone up down the mountainside somewhere. It's going to happen to anybody. It'll happen to Anthea. Oh no, here she comes. She didn't decide to set the fast way down. Okay, and we're going down our final descent out the mountains. Got to be careful down here, it's quite dangerous. And we're coming down on top of the next village along from ours, which is called Summertine. Yeah, we don't want to get it wrong here, end up down there. Okay, we're back into the village of Summertine. This is all downhill. And we'll join on to the bit where we start our morning walk in a minute. Yeah, so all downhill, all the way around down to the road that runs along to our house. Yeah, I've got the motor back on now. You're flying. Yeah, someone's just gone flying by me. We've got the last stretch, so we're using up our last bit of battery. I think Anthea's got plenty. I'm still on 1 bar, so we've not done bad for that. Anthea's just gone down to the last bar as well, she says. So after all that fretting, we're still all right, and it looks like we are going to make it home, and we're not going to be spending the night out in the wild under a bush somewhere. Okay, so we made it home, just. It was a bit touch and go for a while there, and my battery finally conked completely just as I come up the drive back to home. I'm not sure how far it was. Unfortunately, I didn't take the Wikiloc app with me and set that off going, but I will work it out and I'll put it down on the subtitles later on when I do editing.
Including where we went wrong.
Yeah, including where we went wrong and I couldn't remember. I'd just like to say, to people, don't be put off about doing these things with the bikes now. These e-bikes have opened up a whole new world for us. We're both in our 50s. We're not in excellent health. We partied way too hard, almost up to about a year ago when we finally called time on all that sort of thing. Anthea had a year of hospital treatment and is still on medication for another 5 years. I suffer with arthritis, so there's absolutely no reason why anybody could not go and do this with the bikes. I've got to say, electric bikes have really changed our lives. I know, the cars are great, but in reality, if you think about it, all you've really done is exchange a petrol diesel car for an electric car and total to and from work in that instead of the petrol and diesel. So it's not really life changing. Whereas the bicycles for us have been. I mean, I bought the bicycle, kidding myself that I was going to get a little bit fitter and ride it around. But I mean, if you look behind us and that, if I was down at the coast on the flat, I'll probably be okay. But these are all hills. I was kidding myself. There was no chance. And if I had to convert it to electric, that bike would now be sitting in the back of the shed gathering dust. So the biking has certainly been life-changing for us. And I think, any of you people out there, should fancy doing it, you should go for it. Don't hesitate. So I think we're going to wrap that video up there.
You got a massage my bottom.
I've got to massage somebody's bottom apparently. I think Anthea's going to be getting up tomorrow to put the chicken in the oven and get back into bed, and we're going to have a lazy day tomorrow after all that, because that was a bit of a killer. We ache. Okay, so without further ado, I think we'll call that the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.